Hello front end, welcome back. In our previous tutorial, we were able to make our first project, which we named Basic Project. So in this tutorial, we are coming to look at pages being created by PHPRad when you create a project. So first of all, let's open the project we made the last time. If you can remember, when we are creating the project, we made use of this key. But this time around, this is a project we have created and we have saved it. So we are going to open it from this side. And the name of our project is Basic Project. So we open it and it brings us back to where we left. So let's preview it and see. Okay. If you can remember, we created this. This is actually a table, and inside this we added this data to it. Where we said first name is Wilson, the second name is John. The information about it is John is a boy. So going back, I want to show you something, and I want to explain briefly. When we were creating a new project, I showed you that this side houses the tables, okay, and over here houses the field and the field property when you are creating a table. Now the same thing applies to the motherboard. At the left side it houses your table, and over here you can select a single table you have created and you will view the properties of that table. And over here you can still continue with the settings of each single page you choose. Then coming to this side is the field of that particular table or that particular page you have selected, and you can continue over here to set each single field to the properties you want it to be. All right, so I want to let you know that when you create a table, let's come over here. Let's create another table here. And this table, we will call it, what should we call this table now? Okay, let's call it records. And inside this record, we will have stock. Let's say product name, product name. And this one will say price. If we can get the price, we can simply type user. It doesn't matter, let's just type something like category, and that is it. Alright, so like I told you, I normally click this to refresh the entire thing, and when I save this thing, something will happen. PHPRad will create some pages for this table. So whenever you create a table, PHP will build certain pages for you for each single table you created, and that is what this course is all about. That's what this particular tutorial is all about. That's what we are coming to explain in detail, so that you know what PHP does with each table you created and how you can use these things PHP have created for you and do something. So we are going to save this thing. Project saved. So now we click on that record table we just created. If you can just you can open and see each field of the table by toggling this. Okay, the same thing applies to this account. We can see the ID, the last name, and so on and so forth. So over here on our records, this is the field inside our record. So when we click on the table on this record itself, it's giving us the record pages, and these are the pages I'm talking about. So PHP creates the major things PHP creates is the list page, the view page, the add page, the edit page, and the delete page. The delete page is not actually visible, is an action that takes I don't know how to put it, but it's an action that when you click a button, the action just take an effect. So it has its own controllers, but it doesn't have a view page. Okay, you can't actually view the page, but the page takes have an action that it perform whenever it's been triggered. So let's start with the list page. Let me show you what the list page does. As you can see, we have gotten that record as a link or as a sub link on its own. So on this account, this is the list page we are talking about, and this is the view page. Let's edit it. This is the edit page. So the edit page usually it edit page are unique as the view page. Let me explain to you what I mean. Now let's start with the link we have up here, http localhost basic project, which is the, let's take this as the root. Now inside this our basic project being the project we created, you can see it on top here, there is a folder called account, which is actually this guy. So this account, the action we are taking with this account is actually we are viewing this account, and the record ID we are viewing is record number 1. As you can see, record ID is 1. So let me go back. Let me type record 2 and hit enter. As you can see, we don't have a data with record ID number 2. So let's go back again and take it gradually. I told you that when you create a table, that PHPRad will create 4 pages for you. 4 major pages. It's actually 5, but the 5th one being the delete one isn't a view page. So you have 4 major view pages. So the first one is the list page. The second one is the view page. The third one, the add page, and also we have the edit page. Now, the list page is this guy you are seeing here. Most of the time, it won't end with list because it's being seen as the index, so you don't need to add list. But if you type list like this, it will still come. Okay, it's still the list page you are viewing. All right, so the second one is the add page, which is just add like this and you hit enter. It will have taken you to the add page. Another one is the view page, but the view page have to be specific. You have to let the you have to indicate which data you want to view. For my own case, I want to view record ID 1, and that is what we are viewing here. So you can see the 4 major pages we have for a single table being created. So the same thing will apply to this record. Let's try to give this record some data inside. The product name we want to is okay, let's say speaker speaker and Bluetooth. Does it matter? Let's just type speaker. The price is 300 and the category is tech, and we submit this. All right, record added successfully. So this is actually the list page. So what actually happened when you add something is PHP have an action that is being triggered whenever you add a data, but you don't have to worry about these things now because that's not what we are coming to do. We just want to understand how pages have been made with PHPRad. So we can add another record here. Remember, we are in records, and inside record we are accessing the add page of it. So we want to add a data. So in this add page, the major function is post. It actually posts something to the database, and the table is going to post the thing is this record, as you can see it here. All right, so let's add something else. We can say something like a shoe, and the price will be $100 or maybe 100 your currency, Then the category is fashion, fashion, fashion. So we submit it. All right. So on the list page, like I told you, is not specific. So you can list anything at all. It's going to show you all the records you have had in this table. That's what we are having on the list view, on the list page. So we can view each one. Let's initially we used to view something like we used to type view /1, which will actually show us this data because this is the ID. It picks the ID, which use it. PHP uses the ID as the primary key. So when you view it, you're going to view record number 1. So when we delete this and make it 2, it's going to show us record number 2. So now another thing you have to take notice, the list page isn't specific. The add page as well isn't specific, but the view page is specific. You have to impute the record you want to view, the data you want to view. You must have to specify it. Same thing happens with the edit page. So we can say that this view page is the specificity of the list page, and the edit page is the specificity of the add page. Kind of tricky or something, but you don't have to worry yourself about it. So let me show you what I mean by that. We can simply type add without giving it an ID, it will come. But when you type add and you give it an ID like 1, it doesn't make sense. That's rubbish. So let's type something like edit. You have to give it an ID. Which data do you want to edit? Is it data 1 or data 2 or data ID 3 or data ID 4? For our own case, we want to edit data ID 1, which says that John is a boy. Okay, the John is a boy thing is in account, not actually in records. So we want to edit the record one. So we can simply type this account /edit/1. Now we can edit it. John is a boy. So we can take it off and say John is now a girl because John is fucking up. Update it. All right, guys. Moving forward to the next section of this tutorial is the project explorer. At this point, I just want you to get something. Don't take it so personal or seeing it that I'm being confusing. I'm not. I'm just trying to, this is the basic. You need to understand what is actually going on, even though you might not be needing them. But when you understand how it works, then you can think ahead. You can plan well. You can figure out things easily without asking some questions. All right. So this is the project explorer. There is a folder called basic projects, which is actually the thing we are doing. Remember, the name of our project is basic project. So inside this basic project, all these folders are being created by PHPRad. They created all these projects because you need all of them in making your web application. But it's not compulsory that you have to come over here to be looking at each of these pages. But I just want to show you what happens at the back, the things you don't see, what PHP actually does whenever you create a project. Like I told you, when you create a table, these pages are being made for you. Good. The same thing whenever you create a new project, all these folders are created for that particular project. All right. So like I showed you about account, the records we created, you can create more tables. Now let me show you each of the sub pages of these tables we have created. So this is the big table, and inside this table we have another pages. So let's stop calling it table. Let's call it the mother page. So this is the mother page, and inside this mother page we have sub pages under it. So let's come over here to our apps or our app. Then inside our app, we want to go to the views. You may like to mess with controllers, but for now, I will advise you don't just go straight to views over here. When you click on apps, it will show you this. Then you go to views. Then inside the views, just go to the partials. Then inside the partials, you can see this account. You can see this accounts. Then you can see the footer, the header, the errors, the home, the index, the info, the password manager, and the record. So it's a whole lot of things we have under this partial. All right. So now this is what happened. Remember when I'm making this table, I intentionally added S to make it account because by default, PHPRad will create a folder called account. And in order not to mess with it, I added mine S to differentiate this account from this account. So this is the table we actually created. So let's view it and see what we are talking about. So these are the 4 view pages I'm talking about. So the number one is the list, followed by the view, followed by the edit and the add page. So these are the pages PHP made for you. As you can see, they are being ended with PHP, PHP, PHP. So no one can take advantage of the major content of this page from the front end of it. We are not coming to change anything here, but I just want to show you that each table you are seeing here, this is what it means. Whenever you create a table, it means you are creating a folder, and inside that folder there will be 4 files, which is the add page, the edit, the list, and the view. So you can go on and on and on and on and create more tables as you like. Feel free. I just want to welcome you to PHPRad. So this is what today's tutorial or this tutorial will be all about. Previously, we learned how to make projects, how to set our first project, and today we have learned the pages and the sub pages of each table we created. So in the next tutorial, we are going to delve into the each page properties, and inside this page properties, the field and the field properties as well. So I hope to catch you in the next one. Thank you.